Sure, it's a great question. One of the things we look at with a lot of fintechs and online lenders and other things is they're doing things that people haven't done before, and there's not a lot of precedent for. So a lot of what we do is just get down to first principles. What's the basics of what you're doing, and does that comply with the law? And then as you add on new ways of marketing, whether it's through social media or other, Instagram or other things, how does that change what you're doing? So for example, with lending, are we lending on advertising on social media to the right groups? With product design, are we designing products that haven't been done before, so then can we analogize to other things in the marketplace? So whether it's a new form of lending that might not involve recourse or other things, are there ways to develop those products that we can look to other points as guideposts? And then we use our expertise and judgment to recommend to a client. So here's the law that says X, Y, and Z, you're out here, so we can give you guidance, but you need at a certain point, it's what sort of risk is the business willing to take? And from that juncture, you have a startup is much more likely to be able to take those risks than an established player. And that's why you see so much investment in fintech, both in mortgage space and otherwise, to sort of have new entrants find new ways to take risks and build on that. So when I was at the CFPB, when virtual currency first came onto the scene, everyone was concerned with consumers being ripped off, and there were some early big scandals. So there was the Mt. Gox scandal in Japan, and there were other things where people were losing lots of Bitcoin. But at the Bureau, we never really saw great consumer uptake of Bitcoin. You're not using Bitcoin to pay for your coffee at Starbucks or to purchase a property or other things like that. And what we've really seen it take off, both when I was at the Bureau and now in private practice, is using particularly blockchain to innovate your business internally. So whether it's using blockchain to keep better track of data internally, for example, during a mortgage transaction, can you put all the various different pieces that need to come together on the blockchain? Or in the chain of title, are there ways to use the blockchain to streamline chain of title things? So from a regulatory perspective, if it's a back office way of doing things, there's typically not a lot of regulation that you need to be concerned with. What we do need to focus on is consumer privacy and data privacy. So when you think blockchain, a lot of people think a public spreadsheet. If it's someone's personal data, you obviously can't put that on the blockchain. So is your blockchain limited to an internal use? Do you know who's using it? Is there protocols and rules in place for what sort of data goes on there and how that information works with the existing rules around data security and data privacy? And from there, I think we'll see blockchain sort of develop as sort of a new tool that businesses can use that consumers might not see on their day-to-day basis, but that will improve how those products function and develop.